My friend, the reason that you are not getting as many gigs as you feel like you should be, or not making as much money playing music as you feel like you should be, is not because you're not skilled enough. If you've ever had any gig before in the past that went well, skill is not the issue. The issue is that you're married to your own ideas of how to actually get more gigs, how to actually make more money, how traditionally drummers and musicians make money. If you are married to one idea of how to do it and you close yourself off to all of the other possibilities that are out there, you're going to stay in a very, very small area. So, a very, very relevant concept here, example. I used to think that the only way to make money playing drums was to go on tour, to become the top call person in your area, or, as ridiculous as this sounds today in the age of streaming, make some great music and release it and live off royalties. I think we've all thought these things at a certain time before, but the fact is, these are all pieces of the puzzle. They all can work. There are ways to make each of those individually work. But if you want to actually maximize the results that you get in your career and the amount of money that you make playing drums, playing music, you're going to have to look elsewhere as well. You're going to have to start thinking about how to assemble things, take things into your own hands and assemble them for yourself. Because all of those three things that I just mentioned, those standard pathways to success in music, those are all essentially passive roles, right? If you're trying to sell your music, chances are in this day and age of streaming, you're just putting it up and maybe posting and just hoping it works, right? And then you're going to get pennies because royalties aren't worth anything. So you just got to keep posting and posting and posting. And you end up in this rabbit hole, right? Sure, you might get a break and get famous. You might get some viral videos, but those are kind of fewer and further between because the amount of time and mental investment in order to make those things happen is great. It's enormous. Plus, you'll probably actually have to be among the best who's ever done it in order to ever go viral, or do some antics that aren't really who you are in a lot of cases. I'm speaking to the musician who really wants to focus on the music, is really purely about the art, not so much about the showmanship aspect, and who just wants to make a living, right? Or maybe get ahead. Get ahead is better than just making a living. And you absolutely can by playing music. But you got to take matters into your own hands. You can't just wait for your music to sell. You can't just wait for people to call you for gigs. You can't just wait to go on tour. You can't just expect that the more you work, the harder you practice, the more hours you put in, that you'll automatically get these gigs. You have to take matters in your own hands. And you can do it very strategically. You can do very simple actions that will add up over time, that will compound and multiply over time to help you actually get more gigs while taking an active role. This can be as simple as busking on the street. It's still more passive because you're waiting and hoping that people are going to donate to you, right? Or you're waiting and hoping that somebody will leave you a business card. But another active role, of course, is to go out in person and go to jam sessions. You have to be proactive there as well. You have to be prepared. You have to maybe have a business card or maybe an app with a QR code that has all your information on it that you can share with people. And you also have to ask people for their contact info. You can't just be going around showing everybody your QR code. chances are most people won't lock it in, right? Unless you make a great impression, of course, which is another active role you have to take. You have to understand how to make that great impression, not just by your playing, but by your personality and by, are people going to actually want to hang out with you for a 4-hour long gig and talk to you on the break? And are you going to show up hammered and like make the whole thing miserable for everyone involved, right? There's so many active roles you can take. That's still old school though. The new school methods involve the internet. They involve understanding how to leverage your posts, how to leverage your followers, how to use the contacts that you make online. And then if you want to go a step ahead, it's actually understanding how to do more advanced marketing, right? More powerful actions that with very little effort or very little upfront work can yield great results. So that involves maybe your advertising. That involves really stepping up your sales skills. Maybe in some cases it involves working with a manager. Now, again, these are not all things that require a ton of effort. But everyone thinks they do. There's always this like giant mountain that people see when you bring these things up. And that's the way I felt too. I always felt like this was so complicated. Like I would never get gigs if I didn't just master every single one of these things. But no, that's not the case. You find the things that actually work for you, that you enjoy working on, and you outsource the rest. You have someone else help you with the rest, or you have someone really coach you through, and you have someone really coach you through the things that you're good at, the things that you like doing, to make sure that you're doing them in a really efficient, great way. And then you outsource or have that same person handle some of the other tasks, right? One of the biggest mistakes is doing it alone. So don't think that you have to just carry all this weight on your shoulders, because taking an active role, being the strongest center advocate for your own life, doesn't mean that you're the only person advocating for yourself. Build a team. I've talked about this in other videos. Build a team. Have coaches, have mentors. Continually stay studying. Never let yourself focus too much on just one thing. You want to be a well-rounded person, and you want to get so many of the general life processes in order so that all this stuff can just be on autopilot. And the best way to just help you, guide you through all of this, is to work with a coach. So if you go to prodrummermethod.com, you can book a call with me, and I can be your coach. This is something that I've helped many, many clients through already, getting them to the next level in their music careers, getting them out of this married to the old way of thinking and getting them into this, oh, I actually like doing this marketing thing. I actually like the sales aspect. I actually like maybe the web design, or, whatever it may be. I actually like these certain things. It's making me more money when I do it. And now I'm going to hire other people to help me with the rest of it. And that way I can just do what I want, enjoy playing the music, enjoy making the music. And I don't have to worry about distributing the music. I don't have to worry about constantly being there to post all the time, constantly having to edit my own videos, all these things. Like, there's so many aspects of this that people just seriously think they have to do everything, and they're so married to this way of thinking that they have to go it alone. And it's just a recipe for disaster, a recipe for failure, and a recipe for being bitter at the world. So go to prodrummermethod.com. Just, book a call. See what happens. I guarantee you're going to get your money's worth. I personally believe you'll get 10x your money's worth. And if you don't, I offer a money back guarantee for the call. So we'll talk soon.